Okay.
So noisy,
you're live.
my goodness.
Yeah. Good evening, fellow Earthlings. Today we're coming to the planet of, I don't know, man, planet of chips. And the Bananavestor is back here to confuse us with chim terminologies on chip. You should be called a
Chips.
You should be called a chip investors. I mean the chip investors. You should eat chips instead of banana. But anyway, welcome. How are you guys doing? Do you guys, if you can hear us clearly, can you please type what do you think about Intel? Do you think it is investable right now? It's not investable right now. We should avoid, we should buy, we should hold, we should sell, we should short, we should what do you think? We should get more Intel on Intel? Wait, I need the let me say that again. We should get more Intel on Intel. Okay, cool. Now, great. Okay,
have to repeat this. Oh my goodness.
Let's bring us through. The great old Bananavestor, please enlighten us today. Many people are confused. Kevin say we should sell. Santil say we should hold. And what about rest? Excel. What's Excel? Well, Excel is like sell a lot. Is it buy and hold? Intel boy. Okay.
I also think so.
Intelligent. Okay lah. Hey, wait. Let me give you a drum. Intelligent. Investable. Okay, great.
Calvin, intelligent. You're very intelligent, Calvin.
Sorry. That's the only sound effect. Okay, great. Come bring us through, Mr. Bananavestor.
Okay, let's go. Okay, so 3 weeks ago, we have this first episode of this COVID stock idea. We have AMD versus Intel. Okay, and we know that AMD is ahead in CPU by using the 7nm tech, which is produced by TSMC. Okay, and also Intel in the CPU business department seems beat up. Okay, there's a lot of bad news, one after another, like losing market share, and then Apple dropped them, and then one of their top chip designer resigned. All right, okay.
Oh, today their chief engineering officer also resigned.
On the 3rd of August,
that is the chief engineer officer, the CEO.
The chief engineer officer who is supposed to become the CEO, So it doesn't sound very chippy. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, but I thought his departure was because he failed to deliver on this, right? I mean, under his leadership, then there was all the delays from 2018 till now, even with the 10nm and all that, right? So now,
that's right.
Now they're changing the reporting structure, so they are cutting away this guy. But what they're saying is that the 5 departments that he was heading, which is like the design, engineering, the manufacturing, now all of them have to report directly to the Intel CEO, who is Bob Swan, right? I think the CEO is now like, keeping his eyes very closely on making sure that this is done right. As in, that's how I interpret it. That he wants to have tighter control and accountability over the production.
Yeah, but this doesn't mean it's good. Okay, so anyway, it just means that they chop somebody's head. So after chopping the person's head, does it mean that it's going to become better? Less enlightened.
No, I think there's more accountability now.
There's more
pressure to perform.
Okay. That's what Felicia feels. Okay, Bananavestor, what do you think?
I think it's a good thing. Okay, it has been some time of non-performing. Okay, so I think it's something. I mean, if they're not performing, then it's good to let them go and then they're actually promoting
Sad case They all people let go already. Okay, good. Well,
they're promoting the vice president, the senior vice president, the lady, which is there's a lot of positive thing that I read about her. Okay, like the
which magazine you read? You say read about her, like
Yeah, actually, Forbes actually suggested that she is capable to replace Elon Musk in Tesla. That's
who's
what's
sorry?
recommended by Forbes.
For Forbes, I think.
Yeah, Forbes. Yeah, Forbes.
I see.
Forbes magazine.
Hey, Forbes magazine say all sort of nonsense, huh? So okay, never mind. So okay, it sounds like, but she's been there along anyway, correct? It's not as if she's a new talent they inject in. She was there all along, and under her era, it still fit. So I'm not too sure whether like you kick off the head and then replace someone else, whether it's going to change anything. But at least there's a change. So things will be different. Okay, momentum may change, but I don't know whether it'll be better. Yeah. Nowadays the things I say always like very negative, but not true. I just want to be very certain when I invest, right?
Yep. All right. Yeah. And I think as you all know, last week the share price has dropped about 18.5% until today.
Wow, 18.5%. It's not a short drop. It's quite a huge drop.
Yes, in a matter of like 3 days since earning release. Okay. Yeah. And why do you think the share price dropped so much? Okay.
Because people sell.
Yes, people sell, but I think this is one of the reasons. Okay. Yeah, they announced that they're going to be a delay of a 7nm production for another 6 months. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then the next is outsourcing of chip manufacturing. Okay.
Okay, so by the way, people say buy put, they say 7mm. Keep your questions coming in. And then Bananavestor will give you all the I have no smart comment to put about it, but give you all the answers. Okay.
Yeah. So imagine Intel as they're pioneer, they are the leader in chip maker for over 50 years.
They were.
Yeah, they were the leader for over 50 years. And then now they're actually telling the world that they cannot produce their own chip, the top of the line chip anymore. They are behind the technology. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Your music is spooky.
And the third one is actually they give a very conservative outlook for Q3, but I think the main reason is the first two items.
Right.
It's the main reason. Okay. Yeah. So what do you guys think? Is this a crisis or opportunity? So let's revisit Intel today. Okay. Yeah. So who is Intel? Okay. Intel, they're actually founded in California. Okay, 1968, about 52 years already. Okay, 52 years. And they are still the largest semiconductor maker by revenue. Okay, but they are not that valuable as a company in a market cap right now. Okay.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah. Okay. And they're also the inventor. Okay. They're also the inventor of the x86 chip, which is found in almost all the computers today, be it in the data center, for the cloud, or at your home PC. Okay.
It means that they're still making money through this, correct?
Yes, mostly, in fact, mostly. Okay. And their founders, I think a lot of you hear about the Moore's law. Actually, the term Moore's law, right? Actually, follow one of the founder, Gordon Moore. The Moore's law is actually derived by Gordon Moore, one of the founder.
Serious? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, okay. Serious. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, what does Intel do? Okay. So Intel is not just a CPU maker. Okay. Besides a CPU maker, they are also in 5G network. Okay, all the 5G their ecosystem supply chain, a lot of the equipment actually have the component inside. Okay, yeah, and they actually contribute a lot of equipment to the cloud computing. Okay, and they also into AI analytics and autonomous driving as well. Okay, and these are their product. Okay, these are the product. Basically, they have all different kind of processors. Okay, processors for the PC. They actually have vision processing unit (VPU) as well. Okay, which is to process the AI face recognition for AR. Okay, and then they are also a leader in the memory business. Okay, memory business where they actually have a very, very innovative memory solution, next generation. Okay, they are the leader, and they are also the fastest. They also have the fastest, the best performing SSD, which is only used in the data center for cloud most of the time. Okay.
For hey guys, by the way, if you don't know what he's talking about, it's okay lah. I'm just pretending to be smart and just I half the time I don't know what is he talking about. Okay, so that's why I say, well, welcome to Earth, Bananavestor. So thanks for letting us know about all this alien language. Felicia is getting pretty. They don't even look at your slides already. Your slides are irrelevant to people. They are looking at the. Okay, so that's why this session we have to bring in Felicia to make the picture look nicer because the chips I don't. Okay, basically, can you tell us what does it really mean? It means that in the computing world, Intel is irreplaceable. Is that what you're saying? Or because most of these things you talk about, like accelerator, platform products, connectivity, all the memory space and things like that, right? Do they have anyone who can actually replace them? Yes or no?
Okay, just a simple comparison. Okay, in the computing ecosystem, they are almost like Apple. Okay,
they're almost like
Apple. They're almost like Apple. They have the best memory for the server. Okay, they have the best SSD for the server.
They have the best. They have or they have.
They still have. They still have. Okay.
So
okay. Yeah. And also, yes, Felicia.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I saw one question.
Otherwise, people cannot remember her. So since you're the one telling things, so we must make some comments here and there. So basically, you're saying that because they also have. They say the banana is missing. Hey, walao, this kind of okay, so they are Mansing I think is also from the IT sector. He says that AMD is becoming a very strong competitor. In fact, the CEO 𝗲𝘁𝗲𝗹 is I think your spelling you got to check lah. So in fact basically they are saying that AMD is actually becoming stronger. Do you think so? Do you think so?
Yes, definitely. So I do agree.
So meaning to say that, is there a threat to them? Do you think that Intel one day may no longer be around? Like, do you think so?
It could be possible, but if you compare the market size, right, the revenue of AMD, right, okay, they are only about less than 10% of Intel in overall.
Okay. For now.
For now. Okay. And they do not produce their own chip. Okay, they do not produce their own chip. Okay, TSMC, and some other foundries producing for them. Okay, and if they cannot produce their own chip, then they have problem to scale.
Right.
Okay?
That's right.
Yeah, and like the data center, the market share, Intel still have over 90%. So AMD, like maybe he can grow 100% from 3% market share to 6%, but that is still not significant. Intel still doesn't feel anything.
I see. So in other words, you are saying that basically at least for the next 10 years or 20 years, well, AMD can gain market share, but it's still a little. But Intel overall they will still be growing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Also, some others also saying correct lah. AMD can catch up, but not within the next 10 years. Now, what this means is so I guess the key question, I don't know whether you're going to go into that portion quite soon.
Yes.
The key question is for people who actually buy Intel, can they still keep for long term? What do you think? Do you think there's a chance for Intel to continue to bounce back?
Okay, I myself is invested in Intel. Okay, I will be.
Sorry, wrong sound effect. Can you say one more time?
Yeah.
I'm also invested, and I have not exited any positions.
Okay. Should be more positive lah. Hey, sorry, I'm the one pressing the sound effect. So unfair, right? Because I can make the atmosphere sound very scary. But actually, So in your opinion, well, I realize I'm in between both of your squash lah. Between you are the bread, I'm the hamburger meat. So I'm the meat. Okay, no, I'm not saying that. No, because later I want to point out some key things that I'm concerned about. But let's go through. Are you going to go to the portion where you? So
before
Felicia.
that, just on this, right? For Intel Bananavestor, what is the split in terms of the revenue or the profits from each of this? Because I mean, I was also sharing backstage, right? That the more I read into it, the more I am convinced that I don't think Intel is doom and gloom. Why? Because in these areas that it as in it has business.
Later I go into that breakdown.
Yeah,
by
I think it's going to go through right. The next slide is how they make money. Come, let's go and see how they make money. Then we will know whether it still can keep or not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just for information, Intel also coming up with their own GPU to compete against AMD and NVIDIA.
Which none of us understand what it means, but it means that they are having another segment to compete and make money out of it.
This is a graphic card. This is a graphic card for gaming, for AI, for data center graphic processing.
But so far they have not been winning in their core area. Then now they want to go and jet people in areas that they have never been doing. Let's see. But there's still chance. At least they fight. There's still chance, right? Huh? Otherwise, they fight no chance. Yep. So how they make money?
So how they make money? Okay. So this is their latest Q2 revenue breakdown. Okay. If you see, they are still making a record revenue. Okay. Their revenue is still growing also. Okay. And you can see their breakdown, right? Their client computing, which is more on the consumer, the PC centric, is actually go down to about 48%. Okay, 48%. You can see the blue color part, right? Is less than half already. It used to be a lot more than half. Okay, but it's getting smaller and smaller. Okay, and the other part, the data centric, actually keep growing every quarter. Okay, keep going every quarter. So this part consists of the data center group, which is all the.
Which part drop? Sorry, I didn't catch that again.
Sorry,
which part drop? You're saying because
not drop.
7% increase.
Okay, it's not drop. Okay, but the portion of their total revenue percentage going lower and lower. The PC centric. Okay, PC centric actually now has dropped to about 48% of their total revenue. But in overall.
I'm trying to find the 48% on the slides. I think the audiences are also finding also quite. It's not on the slide, is it?
It's not on the slide.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can see on the pie, you can see the proportion is 48%.
Okay, I roughly measure 48%. Yes, correct. You're right.
Yeah.
This one must eat lah. This session is one of the best Facebook Live. You can eat and don't feel awkward one. Then must eat so that your brain got more processing power to understand what you're talking about.
So the data centric, right? Okay. While the data centric is actually 52% from last quarter, right? Last quarter is actually 47% only. So it have actually grown over more than 50% already. Okay.
Got it.
And the data centric, you can see the data center group. This is like all the CPU, all the processor for the data center, okay? Right. Where the Amazon, AWS, or the Google Cloud that we use a lot, okay? And then Internet of Things, right? This one have a lot to do with 5G, okay? And also all the smart things, smart home, smart industrial, smart CCTV. So basically, when we talk Internet of Things, we are actually putting a brand into all kind of things. It can even be a light bulb, can be smart light bulb. Okay.
This is a good question. So this data-centric portion, right? Is there any competition? Does AMD also possess a threat, or is there any other eminent kind of threats or competitors?
Okay. The data-centric part, right? Okay. You can see there's a lot, okay? The AMD, the majority of their revenue is on the PC centric. And then on the data center group, AMD have about few percent market share, and Intel have more than 90% market share.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to show actually. I saw your next slide. Yep.
Okay, and then Mobile Eye is actually their autonomous driving and advanced
Yes.
driver assistance system division. Okay, they are
No,
also
please correct me if I'm wrong. Because all these, like even you talk about mobile eye and all the Internet of Things, there is also correlation to the kind of chips that they produce. Am I right to say that? Because although the PC-centric portion, they are selling the chips directly, but the rest, the data-centric portion, right, it also is dependent on their technology of creating the chips in order to support all these functions. Am I right to say that?
Yes, correct. And they are still producing their own chip for those. Okay.
But this is the part I'm concerned about, because in terms of technology, they are losing out, and they are saying that they are losing out. Meaning, we say even the data-centric portion, you talk about like driverless cars and things like that, right? Will people have the confidence to continue to use Intel? That's my question. Because it's not
No
so
problem on that. No problem on that. Okay, because
you can't actually buy the chip from them to make the car. Okay, but why you tell me no problem?
No problem, because if you see, right, all the competitor in like the all the smart driving, Internet of Things, right? Okay, they don't really need the very high performance chip. Okay, the high performance chip, right, is actually used in the most high end smartphone, and then the gaming PC, and then the data centric. So in the client computing group, the enthusiasts, okay, the gaming, the media creator, okay, there are certain group of people will need those high performance chip. Okay, and then the data center group, yes, they will need the high performance chip. Okay, and then the rest not so. The rest not so.
Yeah, Felicia, you're saying? No. Okay, so what? In other words, you are saying that based on their technology, even though they are not catching up, in terms of the data-centric business portion, they are more than sufficient to handle the requirement, and there will be demand. This is your opinion.
Yes. Okay. So Intel is actually having problem to make 7nm. Okay, 7nm technology chip. Okay, and even TSMC, right? Even though TSMC is making 7nm, right? TSMC also making a lot of 14mm, 16mm, 20/mm, 30/mm, and a lot of older technology, because there are many applications out there, right? Still use the older technology, and they can perform at their best.
I see.
And Intel will continue to make, I think, majority of their chip by themselves, even after they outsource. They only outsource the one that they cannot do to the third party.
So in other words, yeah, sorry, Felicia, please.
No, because I was just thinking, right? I mean, all the bigger chips that are still still in production, they will be used for, let's say, the lower end, cheaper computers, or the less premium hardware devices, right? And the question is, do we have data behind what is the what is the contribution of the different segments of chips? Because I mean, now what is being affected, right, is the production of 7nm. But the question is, what does this 7nm do, and how important is this 7nm to what it is being used for? Because I was just reading up also. So this 7nm, for example, it runs faster, it heats up less, it causes the device to heat up less, and some of the other features.
Yes.
Yeah, use less power. You can process things faster and more functionality at a single time, right?
Yep.
So question is, how important is this 7nm to whatever it is going to be used for, and what is the demand in this area? Because if this 7nm chip is not that crown jewel or that crown chip, right, then maybe this news is being blown up because yeah. So that's the question that I have.
Okay. So this is okay. Let me try to answer this in a slightly different perspective. Okay, because based on what Intel claim, and they also boldly share that their plan on continue being competitive. Okay, is by using 10nm technology for the next 1-2 years. For the next 2 years, okay, the 7nm will only be released. The product 7nm only will be released on 2023. Okay, they are confident that there's 10nm, the performance is comparable to AMD's 7nm. Okay, this is what they have been telling the analysts during their earnings calls.
Yeah, in fact, I read, right, that TSMC right now, they are already producing 6nm, 5nm chips, right? But from what I read, it seems that Intel's 10nm is actually performing the same as TSMC 6nm. I don't know how true, but that's what I'm reading. So apparently the nm in each that is being produced by each manufacturer is not the same.
Right.
Yes, you are correct also. You are correct also. But then there's also some limitation will be like, okay. So Intel, they're actually using later I go into it a little bit. Okay, Intel actually they focus on a lot of different part. Okay, not only how many nm the process. This is called the process. The 7nm is a process. Okay, so Intel actually focus in a lot of area. They have been doing quite a good job in the other area and optimizing everything and combining together, so they're able to have the 10nm perform as good as the 7nm that made by TSMC.
Yes, exactly.
Well,
But we need to wait and see. We need to wait and see because the product is not out yet. Okay, so they can say whatever they want.
Yes, correct.
Okay?
Correct.
So we have to wait and see, and Intel still have to prove themselves with 10nm. Because 10nm, the mass production only come Q3 this year for laptop and Q4 for the server.
Yes. Okay. This one. Okay. So there are some comments over here. Intel was the first ever tech stocks chosen for value investing by Benjamin Graham. Well, you must know that the intelligent investor. Okay. Well, this group of investors actually quite funny. Then Intel is one of the most obedient company stay home during coronavirus because Intel inside. Okay. No, okay. But by the way, thanks for all the comments. It's quite funny. But the thing is this. I just want to share that from my perspective. Again, I do not understand this area very well. So what I'm trying to think is two things. Number one, can Intel continue to increase in revenue? Is there a future? Because what it sounds like to me right now is Intel can survive, but can they continue to grow? And will there be a point in time that they become irrelevant or lose their economic mode? Sounds like in the near future they can continue to sustain. But personally, when I invest, I mean I don't mind. It depends. Just like example, IBM, correct? IBM, Exxon. You talk about oil and gas company. They are not in a growing industry. In fact, their economic mode is not super strong, and oil and gas is so-called like being a little bit beaten down. But if you have invested in very strong companies in oil and gas, example, Exxon, correct, you will still make a lot more money than tech companies. There was a study that showed that you go into a dying, not say dying, an industry that's not growing, but they can survive for long term, right? You just need to buy it when it is beaten down, undervalued, which sounds like what Intel is happening right now. So if they can sustain for the next 10, 20 years, and right now they are beaten down, undervalued, people has overreacted based on their news, maybe it can be a good entry. But I'm not too sure whether is it that case. Can they? But what you're saying is confirm they can survive. I'm not say confirm but very high chance they can survive based on the things that they have. They may not grow super fast like a tech stocks, but they can survive as a very, I would say, stable stock. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I do agree. At least they'll be able to survive a stable stock. Okay.
Yeah.
And later I'll talk more about what I see. What I we will go into it more later. Okay.
Got it. No need later lah. Let's go into it right now.
Okay. Yeah. So let's have a look at the Intel market share. Okay. So this is the data center I mentioned already. Data center market share. As of April, they're still holding between 90 to 95% on the data center. Okay. Right. And for the consumer CPU, as of March, they are at about 81.25%. Okay.
Right.
Okay, still commanding quite a lot. Okay, and then this is their 5G market share. Okay, 5G market share, they're actually at the third after 𝗳𝗁𝗲𝗋𝗋 and Qualcomm. Okay, but I think 𝗳𝗁𝗲𝗋𝗋, if you don't know, is actually a subsidiary of Huawei, and all the Huawei chips is actually designed by 𝗳𝗁𝗲𝗋 and outsourced to TSMC also. Okay, and 𝗲𝗁𝗲𝗏, I think now they may be getting a hard hit because they cannot get TSMC to make chips for them. So I can see in the 5G, Intel will easily go to at least a number 2, and Intel is also going into the all the base station for your 4G, 3G, the tower. Okay, all these tower, right? They also have equipment. Okay, so Intel is actually aggressively going into making chips for this equipment, and they foresee they will have 40% market share of that by 2021.
Yeah, I really think.
Sorry, Felicia, say?
No, I think this is a promising area because, I mean, given, okay, I don't really know so much about the technology that goes behind the tower, right? The telecoms tower for 5G, but we know that the industry is growing exponentially. I mean, we can go Google the growth rate, and given that it's the third largest player right now, yeah.
I would like to add a curveball, meaning to say I want to show some not so good sides about Intel. Okay, which I personally think. Again, I'm not against Intel. I just want to be careful in what I'm investing in. Now, this is what I have dig out based on their own annual report. This is where they make their revenue from, and 42% is from China and Taiwan. Now, why is this a concern to me? Right, for a few reasons. Number one, there's a lot of like so-called war between US and China. This is one component, correct? And that actually forces, right? China is Intel's largest market, both based on chips and as well as the data center. If I'm not wrong. Anyway, this is from their own annual report. Okay, you can see the key thing is this: we do know that China now they are forced into a very hot and tight spot, where Donald Trump is crazily attacking them, and they are therefore ramping up their own chip manufacturing. Meaning to say they want to be totally independent. They want to get rid of Intel. Their biggest customers is planning to get rid of them. So what?
I like to do a correction on that. Okay, actually the aim is to be self-sufficient in terms of like they want to make about 50% of their own chip by 2024.
That's right. Okay. We actually did that during the TSMC study, correct?
Yeah.
So but what this means is like by 2024, likely Intel will lose market share in China as well, which is their biggest portion of their revenue. I mean, this is one downside for them, in my opinion. So it seems like there are a few headwinds for Intel. Number one, they are losing their edge in terms of technology. Number two, their biggest market is trying to so-called reduce their market share inside there. So I don't see much good news for Intel, except for the fact that there's some rumors that this lady who is taking over can actually run Tesla. So I don't know. It sounds like, I wouldn't say it's gloom and doom, but there's not much good things in my opinion.
Okay. This one I do agree with you. Yeah.
Singapore can step out and take over the China fight. Okay, let me play the Singapore national anthem. Okay, still got one more week. Next week.
Joshua Wong, very funny.
Yes. So this is just one area that I feel that we got to take note of as well. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And then just to highlight, just to go through briefly the past performance, the business performance. Okay. Hold on. We go to Morningstar.
Okay. Let me help you. Let me help you with that. Yeah, so that you can take some time to eat your banana. Okay.
Okay. You mean you open it, is it?
Yeah. So you want to look at the Morningstar. The key ratios, is it?
Yes. Key ratios, correct.
Okay. Give me a while. It's loading. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Felicia, please.
Oh, no. I was saying while it's loading, right? I think when we look at the financials, I was also thinking, because I mean backstage, right? We were talking about how Intel also just recently just yesterday released the news that they are partnering together with TSMC in order to produce the 7nm, right? So then I think immediately at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, what does it mean in terms of their operating costs? It means that their operating cost is going to increase because now they are paying for manufacturing.
Right.
Yeah. And the question is, how much will this impact the bottom line? Right now, it has a very healthy net margin of like 30%. It is really very good, especially if you're a hardware, you're producing like hardware. Their net margin of 30% is very strong.
Very strong.
But the question, is super strong, right? And they have been sustaining this. You see, right? Even when 2018 when they messed up their production and all that, their finances took a small little hit, but not really, right? So my question now is, what is how much of the profits will TSMC take away from this?
Correct. So what do you think? But let's go through the finances and then you can guide us along. Where do you want me to focus on?
So just want to highlight from the past record, right? We can see Intel has been steadily growing in terms of the revenue and their income as well. Okay, and if you see their latest free cash flow, right, it's like they're actually getting a lot of cash. They have a very huge war chest. You see the free cash flow. I think this is
Correct.
21.
It's showing a lot of very strong free cash flow. In fact, it's historical high, man.
Correct. Yes, historical high. So I think
where do they get the money from?
They actually do two things. Okay, one is they suspended the share buyback, and also they take an additional 10 billion loan. And they are in such a healthy position even after the loan, right? Their debt to equity, the debt to equity ratio is still very healthy, still 0.5.
All right. So even they took additional loan, and because now it's cheap, you see. So it may be a smart idea to take loan right now, lock in the current interest rate, and you are paying almost nothing. This is a good idea. Yep.
Yes, correct.
So things to take note. Intel, likely they can. By the way, Intel is not suffering. They're making more money. Doom and gloom because they mentioned that in the future do take note of certain things, which I actually do appreciate the management a lot for this. Because in good times, they actually tell the investors, please be prepared. I think it's very honest of them, and they take shift. I actually do appreciate that. And we can see huge amount of cash holdings. Why you laugh? Okay.
Sean is like, Sean, from 5 days ago, 5 days ago, you were so like pessimistic on this company, and then now I see you slowly swaying.
No, I'm not swaying. I'm just trying to weigh the both sides. I'm the optimistic, I'm the happy guy, It's just that I'm just telling you, I appreciate the management doesn't mean I will go on a date with them. Okay? So appreciating them is one thing. Acknowledging that these are the traits that we want to see in other kind of companies as well. Again, later we'll come to a conclusion whether we think that Intel is investable right now. By the way, Intel is one of my top 20 stock lists. It was. I can tell you right now, I'm reconsidering. Okay, it was because of his position. But again, without having the technological edge, right? I do not want to invest in the second best, you see. I do not want to invest in a big heavy giant that may not perform in the future. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to invest in Nokia because Nokia lost their competitive edge, they lost their technology, and even though they were the big giants, then nobody can actually think that they're going to disappear. But they're gone. I mean, they're not gone. They're bouncing back. But this is my perspective. Again, we can have different perspective. It is just sharing the idea. Yep. So yes.
Okay. Back to Felicia's question about the outsourcing affecting the bottom line. Okay. So this is my opinion. Okay, it's just my opinion.
Sure.
Okay. Intel has this advantage where manufacturing their own chip, okay, and have been enjoying healthy margins for so long. Okay, but if you consider being outsourcing, right, also meaning that you do not need to spend so much on the R&D. Okay, you do not need to spend so much on the capex. Okay, so you actually spend less on that part also. Okay, so I will say probably you'll be impacted, but there will be some balances out because you invest less on R&D and capex. So I don't think
Yeah, but
impact
the
will be-
loss, you know, the thing is, I mean, so I do have a corporate strategy background, and in corporate strat, you know, you think about every aspect, right? And one of it is like operations, especially when you have, I mean, given that they manufacture the world's 90% of the world's like chips, right? They have huge factories that still need maintenance, you know, that are still chalking up costs. So the question is, the question is, given this, what's the capacity, right?
Maybe-
Now they're not, I mean, if they're not going to be manufacturing, then there is definitely spare capacity in the factories. And the question is, what is the operating cost in order to still maintain the factory that is now not going to be used to manufacture the 7nm? You know, are they going to be using it to be producing other chips? And Sean, you were saying?
No, some of the question you asked him are a little bit unfair. He's an investor, he's not from the company, so he's not the CEO.
Okay.
We don't have all the answers.
Okay. Let me.
I just want to share this as a comparison, because AMD has been outsourcing their production to TSMC anyway, correct? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Correct.
Yes.
Right? So maybe a benchmark. Again, it is not totally fair because the size of Intel does give them a certain amount of economies of scale. The bigger you are, the more you produce, the cheaper things are. But you can see their gross margin is typically about 60%. You can see that. If you want to be conservative, you want to take a certain benchmark, you can look at AMD's gross margin. It is about 40% to 30%. So if you want to be conservative, assuming the fact that if you outsource, your margins may drop because you have to pay someone to actually do it, correct? You can actually perhaps drop Intel's gross margin by maybe 10%. So from 60% to 50%. I mean, this is a way for me to roughly have just a benchmark. You want to be super safe, you can use AMD's margin as a benchmark. This is my opinion, because we do have to do some calculation and assess whether all this will have a certain material impact. But do understand, AMD's, I would say, composition of their revenue is pretty different from Intel. Intel, like as you mentioned, about only 49%, correct? Do you say 48, 49%? Is in 48%, correct? So AMD should be more, if I'm not wrong.
Their operating margin is only 10%.
Yep.
It's so low.
And that margin is
Meaning that a lot of it actually goes into the manufacturing, because manufacturing is operating costs.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That means
That's
TSMC
right.
is actually charging very high. TSMC is manufacturing for AMD, correct?
Okay, guys, end of story. Just invest in TSMC. They are going to get a lot of business from Intel.
Yeah, you look 30% from gross margin from 40% drop to 10%, which is in between, or the 33% goes to TSMC or the manufacturing, right?
Felicia, okay, you cannot just compare like that, okay? NVIDIA also outsourced to TSMC, you know, but NVIDIA, okay, they have very healthy margin, I can tell you, and this is not about the outsourcing problem, okay? AMD has been the budget product, budget choice. Their pricing, they do not have pricing power. If you buy a PC, you want cheap, you go for AMD. You get what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, but AMD is slowly increasing its pricing to be comparable with Intel. They are catching up in their consumer pricing.
Yeah, so I don't think the problem is with outsourcing. It's with your branding, your pricing power, right? Your consumer trust. There's a lot of
but once again, if we look at NVIDIA, sorry, gross margin 60%, operating margin 30%. Do you see the difference? The difference in 30%, it's still almost the same, right? As AMD. Meaning that I think that TSMC is actually taking a large part. I really think so.
Wow. Hey, so conclusion, okay, not conclusion. Hey, but it's very interesting. I think this conversation is very interesting, right? But okay, so the question is this: we do know that Intel has a much stronger brand traditionally, but moving forward with all these bad news and stuff like that, can they maintain the brand, or will they be regarded as okay? By the way, if you guys don't know, Intel is the only chip manufacturer left in US. Until recently, they say we also don't play already. We're gonna outsource. That may create a certain erosion in brand. because they are creating their own, like making their own chips, right? I felt that there's a certain advantage telling people, hey, it's created by our own hands, So homemade one, not factory made one, things like that. So I got a feeling all this does have certain impact on Intel's pricing power moving forward. What do you think? Or you think that it's not material?
Okay. About this, okay, Intel is not outsourcing everything.
Yeah.
Okay, Intel is not outsourcing everything. They actually mentioned about the aggregation, okay, and using a smart packaging. They only outsource whatever is needed, okay, and they are also continuing the R&D development, research for 7nm and 5nm as well. They are not giving up. Okay, they are not giving up. Okay, but they say they will actually do a mix with internal and external together.
I see. Okay.
And I also think, right, typically such large manufacturers, they will have long-term contracts with their own customers, meaning that Intel's contracts with its customers would be for a certain period of time. And I think maybe this will buy them time in order to catch up on whatever they are lagging behind, let's say the 7nm, whatever it is lah. And also, I mean, we saw, right, that it's increasing its debt, as in like it's borrowing. I'm just thinking like during this time, it's definitely going to do some R&D. And I have a hunch that they are building the other areas of their business. I think, we saw that they are in the area of autonomous vehicles. They're in the area that supports augmented reality, VR.
But they're not the one actually doing the R&D for all this, if I'm not wrong, right? They're just supporting the...
Go ahead.
No, okay. Basically, they are not at the forefront of the one designing all this, but they do support like what kind of microchips you need for all this technology. So they don't really create their own.
But it still requires R&D, what?
Do they? I'm not too sure. I thought as you mentioned, like 10mm can already do it. Hey, by the way, every time they do R&D, they lose a lot of money because it is very risky. I think they give out on some of the R&D.
Frozen?
Huh? Sorry?
Bananavestor is frozen.
Then how? Hey, he's trying to escape, is it? The Facebook Live today is very, very hateful.
No.
Okay, he's coming back.
Add him back this
Hey, we thought you were trying to run away. Wow,
sorry, I got disconnected.
Yeah, you got disconnected from our
what computer are you using? Is it using Intel or not? Never mind. Okay, continue. Yeah. So Felicia was saying that she believes that right now with so much borrowing of money, with so much cash pile, they are going to actually push their technology forward. Now, in my opinion, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really a techie person, but I'm very interested in technology because we do know that the way forward, investment into tech, that's where you make the money. I always really feel that we should invest in the best tech, not the one that is lagging behind. It is very risky in my opinion. So I feel that, do you think that Intel is at this stage where they are at the risk? Or you feel that actually no, they are still very strong? Frozen banana.
Okay. So in my opinion, okay, they're data-centric, okay, still have a lot of room to grow.
I see.
But then their PC-centric part, okay, will definitely slow down. Will slow down a lot. Okay, and that might actually neutralize some of the growth at the data-centric part.
Okay, so your answer is, you never answer my question. You're like a politician. Sounds like an answer, but don't know what to answer. Okay, so meaning to say you feel that it is uncertain, correct? Is that what you're saying?
I would like to see the more higher growth in the coming quarters for the data-centric segment, to be convinced that it is still healthy and growing.
No, but okay,
I think they will. I have confidence. Okay, I personally have confidence that they will grow in this area because, for example, okay, Microsoft is one of the companies that is really into this whole area of augmented reality, virtual reality, and Facebook and Google, they are all going into this space. I know because I was once from the tech sector, and actually I've been doing digital and tech for a couple of years. Actually, yeah, quite a few years, right? And we know, right, that Microsoft HoloLens, in AR, VR, the HoloLens, right? Intel's chips is being used for that HoloLens, and
Yes.
And all the major tech companies, they're all going into AR, VR. And Intel is one of the few that can provide that technology. If Microsoft is using HoloLens, and if this is a case for success for them, I'm sure that the other tech giants, Facebook, Google, whoever, who are going into AR, VR, and eventually the e-commerce players as well, I think this will build a strong case for them. This is only one segment. The second segment is autonomous vehicles, right? Autonomous vehicles are going to grow at a 25% CAGR from now to 2030. I was doing my research just now. It's growing at very, very strong rates. And right now, Intel, once again, right, they are one of the few players that are providing in this area. I mean, I don't know whether Tesla is using it lah. Maybe not. Just now I saw you know their AV area is like dropping, but they have so many other areas. 5G, you know, they provide the Wi-Fi chip. I know their vision processing unit, right? The Myriad X, and I know Ken, you talked about Optune DC memory, which is the enterprise solution, right? Machine learning. Artificial intelligence. I have a feeling, right, that even if they do not serve the mass consumer market in time to come, there are all this like enterprise solutions and all that. It all falls under data centric, which we saw just now is the one that's growing, right? It's growing in a pie. So that's why I have a hunch that whatever that they're borrowing now, they are going to grow this part of the pie. Anything that's not the dark blue, right? Anything that's not the dark blue. So 55% of the pie, 52% of the pie, I really think that they are going to grow that because that is where the future is. And that is, that is really where the future is.
Correct.
And the first movers in that.
Yeah, the CEO did mention, but basically by outsourcing and stuff like that, which is actually the PC-centric portion, a certain portion of it. Okay, I think one thing that I really learned from Bananavestor, are you frozen? Yeah, there, correct. And also Felicia, is basically all the bad news they give, right? It sounds very bad, but it doesn't affect a huge portion of the pie. Probably just a certain portion of it. Now, so maybe that 18% drop in share price is an overreaction, correct?
I entered lah.
Okay lah, can. End of story. So, huh? What did he say?
Oh no, he's frozen again.
Okay, he's literally eating a banana. First time you joined the show, is it? Yeah, but he should eat chips from now on, right? Now, will Intel be banana split? What is this? Okay, so long term, no Intel or got Intel? So this is the key thing now. This is the key thing.
I think it's not hard to say. You know the thing is, right? I know in value investing, we always say, will this company last 10 years? Right? I think in tech is very, very, very hard to say because you just need 1-2 years to disrupt the market. You know, you only need 1 year to disrupt.
1 2 years is very, very fast.
Really? I really think it's possible, you know. I mean, I mean the overused case, right? As you always say, like Uber, Grab, you know, how like in a very short period of time, they just broke the market. And they are tech companies, right? They're not really transportation. They are transportation companies, yes, but they're actually
they don't really have an economic mode. Okay, they don't really have an economic mode.
Okay, but anyway, I think now, right, it's a bit hard to say like, oh, you know, will they survive 10 years? For me personally, my horizon is like 3 to 5 years. Because it's in technology.
3 to 5 years, I can tell you. Because the market does price in their expectation. And if they don't believe that Intel can last for more than 5 years, the share price will drop. They will not price Intel for 3 years of growth and then disappear. Nobody, I mean, market shares don't do that, you see. Okay, so anyway, let's come back to the score. So far all the banana is there. But Steven also did mention, Steven Tan, last time I like to watch you play soccer. But anyway, he said that Intel score is good, but it's based on historical data. The question is, moving forward, will there be material changes based on the current news they are saying? Example, outsourcing. But again, we realize that the outsourcing may not be material. But exactly how much? You mentioned that they already make more order than ADM by a lot, correct?
No. They are almost matched AMD's order.
Oh, AMD. Yeah. But they did also mention that. So okay, the news probably. So meaning to say it's just a small portion of Intel because AMD's market share is much smaller than Intel. Okay.
But I thought just now when we look at the financials, we said that TSMC is taking quite a bit of their profits.
We did mention. But what we are saying is Intel's entire production is not going to be outsourced to TSMC. Intel's
it's
only a certain portion, which is probably maybe 10%. If you talk about matching AMD, correct, which is much smaller. Wow. So there's a very very big fan here. 𝗳𝗲𝗹𝗹, right, Intel will catch up. He's very, very sure. Let me look at the vehicle he has behind. It doesn't look like a driverless car. But okay, sure. So let's go through what other information do you have to give you that kind of confidence?
So I think I want to share about this. This is actually how Intel, okay, beside the process, which is the 7nm part, okay, that they have been maintaining the leadership, okay, because they have been behind in this process for some time already. Actually, the delay is like 2-3 years already. Since 10nm, they already have delay. Okay, but then you can see they keep growing. Their revenue also very healthy. They're also maintaining their pricing power. They don't need to drop price also, even though they are lagging a bit on the technology. But so how they can actually maintaining the leadership, pricing power, and also scalability, right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So actually, Intel, they actually talk about this 6 pillars of technology innovation. Okay. The first one is the process and packaging. Okay, so basically this is the 7nm, 10nm part, okay, yeah. And then the second part is actually the architecture. Okay, so they actually focus on different architecture for different specialization. Okay, so they make sure whatever chip they do, right, is meant for its purpose. Okay, they have a CPU, GPU, they have Atom, they focus on low power, they have a VPU, vision processing, like for the Microsoft HoloLens, right? They have all different kind of architecture that very, very specific, okay? And then
so they can do mass customization. That's what you're trying to say. Basically, any computing needs come to them, they can actually produce for their particular needs, right?
Yeah. So next is also the memory, okay? Because the memory work hand in hand with the CPU, so they also ensure that all the memory bandwidth latency, right? Okay, is also up to standard to not bottleneck the processor. Okay. Yeah. And then interconnect is talk about like how you move the data between the CPU to your memory, between the memory to your hard disk, your storage, and then between your PC to your external drive. And you see like things like the Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is actually all the time Mac, Apple like to use Thunderbolt. Okay, all the premium laptop also we have Thunderbolt, and this Thunderbolt technology also by Intel. Okay, and Intel also cover the interconnect of data center and also long distance. Okay, that one is talk about the 5G, Wi-Fi, and also the wired connection in Ethernet. Okay, some of you may not know what it is, but this is how we connect the worlds. Okay, how we connect the network of the worlds. Okay, and then also of course they also talk about security, making sure that their CPU is safe, their GPU is safe, their memory is safe, everything is safe. And then software is very, very important. Software is very important. Because I myself as a business owner also, right? I use in my office, right? One time I got try to order the AMD laptop, 2 of them. Because it's cheaper. It's like a similar spec, but the price is like 20-30% cheaper. Then we try, then it always hang because the driver all is not really optimized. And Intel have actually a very, very huge community. They have over 20 million of developer in their community. That work on all their software to ensure that all the is no problem, the very smooth, the performance is optimized. Yeah.
Sorry, the comments is super lame. All the comments. While you're talking about serious stuff, I don't know whether anyone is okay. So basically,
I really like
John Ma, is it? I don't know. Yeah, overreaction by Robin Hood. I say my gut is hungry because so anyway. Who is this? Nokia has Nokia. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, the key thing, I was trying to pay attention while listening to the comments. Basically, key thing, right, is Intel has mass customization ability, yet their quality is top notch. So that's where a lot of other B2B, basically people who buy all these chips, right, they will want to actually make sure it's of high quality so that they won't grow hungry easily and stuff like that. Okay, never mind. So too complicated until we were busy chatting. Hey, okay. So basically, Intel, in Bananavestor's opinion, there is a moat, correct? There is a moat. So I think you're going to go into like possible valuation as well, correct?
Yes. Okay.
Go through it.
So like out of these 6, right? So far they are actually this is the part where they are failing lah. Okay, the 7nm in-house R&D.
Got it. This is only one portion of it, guys.
Okay.
And last growth area. This is the part I'm excited.
Next, I'm going to share the top 3 growth area that I believe they will have that they will actually performing for Intel. Okay.
Yes.
So the first is actually the cloud and data center. Okay. Right. Cloud and data center, they actually they keep leading in terms of the design. Okay. So when you talk about design, right, I think Intel is top notch. They are actually hand in hand on par with people like NVIDIA in designing chip. Okay, we all know that they are failing to produce the chip, but I don't think they have an issue in designing the chip. Okay,
I see. Yeah. Oh, so that's why they can continue design, and when they outsource, basically they remove that problem. They gain back their advantage. This is your opinion. Well, suddenly sounds very right, the whole thing. Okay.
Like they can focus on the design. But I think something that's interesting that you're sharing, right? Like data centers. We know that data centers are less and less relevant, right? Because more and more because cloud is taking over, right? Basically, data center is the opposite of cloud, right? Cloud, you're storing in a non-physical space, but data center, it's a physical space, and that is where Intel is playing, right? Because it's creating the chips and all that. So what are your thoughts on this?
Sorry, are you asking me?
Hey, who else? Cannot be me, what? You are the Bananavestor.
Investor.
Okay. Can you just quickly repeat your question again? I was
He was not listening to you. Basically, she's saying that now because we talk about data center or data processing, memory, all the SSD and stuff like that. But with the increased popularity in cloud-based computing, right? Will that reduces the demand for all the rest?
Because basically cloud-based is the opposite of data center. Like cloud, you're storing it in non-physical space.
Felicia, you got it totally wrong. Okay.
Wait. Let me put some effect. Felicia is wrong.
Okay. When you go cloud, right? Okay. When you go cloud, right? Okay. You thought it's like virtual. It's virtual for you. Cloud means virtual for you. It's cloud for you.
Yeah.
But in fact, all those things is actually resided in a physical data center.
There's a huge entire. I don't really know this, but I do read about it. Basically, there's a physical space to store this one. So our cloud is stored somewhere. So
when you store your file in a Google Drive, right? Okay, you go to the cloud, but then physically those files is in a server, in a storage in Google's data center.
There's a big server room with huge aircon, making sure that they are not hot. Correct. I've seen it before. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
So then, what's the difference between cloud and the traditional data centers?
Okay. Let me briefly share.
I try to answer this. Basically, the traditional type is you go and buy your hard disk then you put at home. Right?
No, it's not like that. Data center is not like that.
So basically, the cloud is you are storing in Google's very, very big hard disk. That's all. So there's still a physical thing to actually store.
Right? So Sean, let me help you to put it slightly different so that it can answer the question more properly. I think Felicia, when Felicia referring to physical, you are right also. You are from the consumer physical to the cloud. Okay. So when Felicia talking about physical data center to the cloud, right, means that businesses, small businesses or maybe enterprise or even large enterprise, right, they can actually no need to build their own data center. Okay, people like maybe like Intel. Okay, Intel maybe they have their own data center, but then they may actually move to Google Cloud. Okay, but Google still need to build a data center to support Intel.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing is, I have serviced clients before, right? I've done digital transformation projects before where I've gone to the exact location of the client, and they literally have a data center, right? Like parked over there, taking up space. And that physical data center, the reason that they want to have it there is because of security, like data security. But because of that constraint of that physical data center, they are not able to integrate their servers. You know, they are not able to do a lot of all the different analytics and for such companies like that want to expand, you know, that want to go into analytics, CRM, and doing all the different kind of integrations, you know, typically what we suggest, you know, sometimes is that you have to break this physical data center limitation, and then you shift it into a cloud, because a cloud is malleable, right? A cloud is flexible, and a cloud you can increase it modularly, right? So what I'm saying is now in Intel, right? Because I see a lot of exactly, Aaron, that's correct. Okay, it's not that I don't know what's the difference between cloud and data. Well, if I don't know this, right, I think it really failed already. I'm really from.
My apologies, your fans are going to bash me out already. I'm so sorry for that. Don't hit me. Okay, next.
No. So what I was meaning to say, right, is that what is their dominance in this area, you know, between the traditional data center and then the upcoming cloud data center?
Yes.
Okay, I think that will be a quite a huge topic. Okay, if you want to dive into it. Okay, but if I want to generalize it more. Okay, as now. Okay, everyone want to go online. Okay, everyone to go online. Okay, and everyone to go to cloud. Okay, and the cloud is keep expanding. Keep expanding. Okay, so no doubt. Okay, there will also be some businesses, they will stop spending buying their own equipment, okay, and setting up their own data center, okay. But this will actually translate to more equipment being bought in the cloud data center. Okay, people like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft. Okay, and then also now a lot of new cloud services being booming. Okay, like all the online meeting, all the online education, right? A lot more of this kind of services, which doesn't exist before. Okay, and actually talking about this, the cloud application will actually require a lot of more data center space to host this kind of cloud services.
Right. So do you think that all these will positively impact Intel?
Definitely, and now data is a lot more important, right? More and more important. Data, big data, analytics. They want to have AI, right? And Intel is only the mainstream data center CPU, right? They have the built-in AI acceleration.
Wow. Okay. Cool. So this is one of their top growth area. Coming back to this specific topic. So I think in the end we all lead to the same place where there will be a huge more demand for data to be stored and processed, and Intel is one of the leading ones that can help to achieve that. So this is the first growth area. So looking good. Okay. What are the other two?
Okay. So the other part for cloud data center, right? Okay, is actually the memory. Okay. So as you know, right? Intel, they have this 3D XPoint technology, which they use to create their SSD storage. Okay, I think maybe most of you will know SSD. SSD is actually the new version of a hard disk. Okay, and in terms of SSD, right? No other brand come close to Intel the Optane SSD. Okay. And this Optane SSD is actually mostly used in a data center. The performance is a lot more better, okay, when compared to all the brand out there, including like Samsung and there are many other brands cannot even come close to Intel. It's like a TSMC. They are already doing R&D and 3nm while Intel is struggling, right? In this SSD, right? Intel is way ahead.
I see. Wow. Yeah. This is a vote of confidence, right?
Yeah, and their growth is also very impressive. The latest quarter, this memory segment, they grow 76%.
Wow. Okay. So this is the second growth area, and the third one.
No, actually, this is the first one. Okay,
this is the first
cloud
one.
and data center is the first one. Okay, the second one is actually
Okay.
the IoT and 5G.
Okay. IoT.
Yeah.
Internet of Things,
Yeah.
right?
So they actually Intel is already announced a very wide portfolio of product, right? Okay, that is covering different of the value chain in the 5G. Okay, from the AI IoT server, 5G server, to the base station, the processor, okay, and then to the 5G structured ASIC. Okay, I think you don't need to know what is this, but they are actually prepared to be everywhere in 5G value chain, the ecosystem, okay, including the wired part, even the Ethernet, the wired part, right? Okay, 5G is supposed to be 5G is supposed to be wireless, but even they actually come out the physical wired connectivity hardware that can help optimize 5G. They are well prepared to capitalize on 5G already.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last part I will see is actually this autonomous driving and the ADAS, okay, advanced driver assistance system. Okay. So this one, it will take some time. Okay. Currently, it's only a very, very small portion of Intel's revenue. Okay. And the last 2 quarters also, the revenue dropped because of COVID. Okay. Nobody buy car. Okay.
Right.
But then Intel is actually the leader. They are the leader. They have actually over 25 global automakers rely on them to make their vehicles safer. Okay, and as of now, there is actually more than 40 million vehicles worldwide equipped with mobile eye technology.
Yeah, actually, I thought that this was very promising area, right? Just now I was saying I was just doing some research on the AV autonomous vehicle space, and they are growing at more than 25% CAGR, right, from now till 2030 and 2040. But just now we saw in the finances, right, that I think they felt as it dropped, right, this particular area.
Yeah, this particular drop because of COVID.
It declined. It declined.
The demand in like cars actually dropped during this period.
No, but I thought the economic indicators for automobile is up, as in it shows increase.
Oh no, I actually study many different company. If any of their businesses that related to automotive, right, the last 2 quarters also down.
Okay. I thought I just saw like census data a couple of days ago. I thought the automobile is increasing. That's why, because I had this conversation with Pete. We were like, hey, how come it's the economy is down, but then people are still buying cars, and buying houses. That's the thing. Okay, never mind. No worries. Sorry.
The latest data is you are right for the latest data, and if you know, right, the last quarter, right, only Tesla grow. The rest of the automobile actually go down. That's in overall.
I think sometimes when you read the news, right, it may be a little bit misleading. They actually compare month by month. So it's like they're saying compared to last month, this might actually grow by how much? It didn't mean that the overall industry actually grow. So it may still be shrinking, but it is improving. Yep.
Yeah. If you compare to like last 5 months, right, probably it's still down like what, 30-40%, but it's better than last month, 30%. Right? Okay. Yeah. So this is actually the total addressable market. Okay. By 2023. Okay. In the data centric part. Okay. Intel is expecting 220 billion the available market. Okay. So the focus is on the data centric part. The PC centric will be quite flat. Okay, will be quite flat. Okay, so that one it's okay lah. Let AMD and Intel can fight till the death, but the market won't increase a lot anyway. Okay, and the data centric part is where they focus on. Okay, and actually what I see is this is actually a pre-COVID-19 data. Okay, and COVID-19 actually accelerate this growth.
That's right. Yeah, there's more increase in demand. So definitely.
How fast by how much I'm not sure, but definitely we have seen all the the cloud, online learning, work from home, everything has been booming. And this will actually drive the data-centric part. Yeah.
Right. That's right. Wow, this is actually very, very reassuring. So in fact, I think this particular comment is this. So if Intel comms media team can write good story, but the thing is they didn't want to write actually good stories. They want to write a little bit more neutral or slightly negative now. Well, we see now. We see whether the inside we go and see whether there's intel of people inside buying their own shares later. So who knows, you know? So these are things that we can take off. Yep.
Yeah. So these are the recent highlights, okay. Head rolls at Intel after 7nm delay. So this one, the 𝗳𝗲𝗹𝗶𝗵𝗵, okay, he's out, okay. Yeah, because of this 7nm delay. He's the chief engineering officer. Okay, and then we see a recent report. TSMC actually get a large Intel chip order, which is almost comparable to what ordered by AMD. Yeah, and then you can see SK Telecom. They actually in trial to use Intel chip for their 5G core network. Okay, and then Mobile division also they signed a deal with Ford. Okay, for the next generation driving technology. And then they recently also acquired moat. Moat is actually a transit data company. It's actually they acquired to so that they can pair with a mobile eye to make the autonomous driving to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and then next one is there's one interesting highlight. Okay, Okay, during January 2021, okay, there's this analyst, right? They upgraded Intel. They give a 30% revised up target price, and one of the reason, right, is that he actually noticed that Intel is considering going fabless. Okay, going fabless means outsource lah. Okay, outsourcing the chip producing. Okay, but then interesting thing is in July when Intel confirmed that they want to outsource, then they get downgraded by multiple analysts.
Wow, this is interesting. So okay.
Yeah.
I guess it is actually really the implications. A lot of us we do not understand the implications of what does outsourcing mean. So
Yes.
right, I think Felicia mentioned one good point is basically it's increasing cost. Instead of you yourself producing it, someone else produce for you. But somehow, right, maybe it may be even cheaper to outsource in Taiwan versus do it in US. Maybe.
Okay. No, the thing is they can actually focus on the design. Okay.
Right.
And they actually because they're actually promising to the customer every year increment of the leadership performance. And because of their stubbornness, because of their pride and ego, they are pioneer, they have been the leader for over 50 years, they're refusing to take this step for many years. Right. And it is hurting them. Okay. To me, I see that they're actually doing the right thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Oh, hey, another 13 more minutes, market going to open.
Yeah, okay. So outsourcing of chip, okay, is it a banana or a banana skin? Okay, so it's something for you to think about.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's go ahead for valuation.
Yep.
I'm here already. Yep.
Okay. So I will pass it to you. Okay.
Me as in me.
Okay, so no, I mean I get you to help me to share the screen. Okay,
sure. Okay, got it. Can see right?
Okay, yeah. So if you see right now, the PE is almost all-time low. It's like I think 8 or 9 years lowest. Okay, and you don't see a tech stock having a PE below 20 nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is crazy. Okay, yeah, and also the price over book also is below the average. Okay, and you see the 5-year average PE is actually around 50. If you take the average, right, the fair value. If you take the fair value based on the average PE, it will be about 70 over USD dollar, about 75.
Got it. If you take actually based on this PE ratio, and you're going to use DCF as well, correct?
Yeah, let's look at the DCF. Yeah. And DCF, we use a very conservative growth rate, okay? We don't want to put high growth rate like 20-30%. We put 10% enough already.
They got internal network issue for Guru Focus.
Okay, so it's not working, is it? Guru Focus?
Yeah, may not be working. Yeah. Hey, so you also, but what do you actually take a screenshot of it?
I didn't take a screenshot, okay, but I did it. I actually remember the value, okay. Basically, the value I use is 10% growth for the first 10 years, and then 5% growth for the 11 to the 20 years.
Right.
Okay, and then I'm looking for the 15% discount. Okay, 15% discount, and then the fair value that the calculator provide is about $70.
$70. So now it's actually undervalued because now it's about $49, right? Yeah,
yes,
I have it there.
correct.
49.24. So based on DCF, based on P ratio, based on PB, if you believe that Intel can continue to sustain or even grow based on their growth factors, right? It looks like it's a banana instead of a banana skin.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I think the growth assumptions are very reasonable, you know.
Yeah, correct.
I mean, last time I used to have to do forecasts, right? For like strat also. I think 5 to 10% is very reasonable.
Yes,
and if it's $70 and not
in the game, right?
Yes, Bananavestor have banana skin in the game, yes.
Yeah, so it's vested. Actually, I was
all of us have skin in the game.
Right.
All three of us have skin in the game.
Skin in the game means that you have money in it.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. So this is extremely interesting. Now, any other key things you wanted to share for this, or you want to do some comparison, right? Which we actually did some comparison. Okay, AMD.
Yes, just a small comparison. Okay. Yeah, because most people will compare Intel to AMD, although the business is actually a lot different. Okay. Yeah, so we can just look at the financial.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, price actually shot up recently.
Just now we actually took a look at a bit of the financials already. It wasn't really very good because we did see that.
Yeah. So you can see the revenue is about like less than 10% of Intel, and then the margin, their free cash flow, all that is very big. Yeah, very big. They're single digit net margin. And then if you look at the valuation, okay, their PE is actually it's 3 digit compared to Intel's 1 digit.
I guess the market is factoring the fact that because they are so small, they have more potential to grow. But in the end, it doesn't look like AMD is performing super well. They do have a lot of good news. Maybe just as someone mentioned, their media is better at writing stories, but however, their chips are not performing as well. It's like a poor man's chip. I think someone actually did mention that. So interestingly, Intel seems like a very strong choice, and also it is reasonably priced. In fact, slightly cheaper. Okay. Yep. Yeah, my thanks for the laughter.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So, wow, do you have any questions so far? Now, as you type in your questions, right, do you enjoy this session? If you enjoy the session, please type banana, okay? Because I'm going bananas over this. I did not know so much in depth into Intel. Frankly speaking, I think I was saying like, even some of the investors were telling me, hey, is Intel a good time to buy? I wasn't very sure. Because I'm thinking, what are the implications? Does it fundamentally change? You know, one thing that's very important is when the company do certain outsourcing, when they actually shift certain things, is there fundamental changes? So I do not want to jump straight into it, and I'm not ashamed of saying that I do not know totally about Intel, and I will not invest initially. But after the conversation with you, I am more compelled to thinking that it may be a very good buy right now. So this is my opinion. What do you guys think? By the way, if you really enjoy this session, you can actually follow Bananavestor on his page. Let me just give you guys the link. It is this is the page. You can see, right? You can type the Bananavestor. He talks a lot more about tech stocks. He eat tech for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and he just take banana as desserts. So this is the guy. He has a lot more like videos on all the other tech companies. Do follow him. Let me just copy and paste this into the comment as well. And yeah, I enjoy this myself. I didn't know that it's really past 1 hour. It's so good. It's so good. What do you think, Felicia?
Yeah. For me personally, I think that Intel is a good buy now. Also through, I was sharing with you earlier today that the more I read into the company, the more I am convinced that it is really
Not that bad.
I mean, for me personally, yeah. I mean, also a few days ago, yeah. But anyway, this is not a stock recommendation, right? But for me, I mean, because just now people are asking, what should we do now? What should we do now with our call? For me personally, I didn't exit any. In fact, I increased my positions, right?
Yes.
For the following reasons. I think today, yeah. I think through all the reasons that we have spoken about today. Hey, someone asked, is this a good news? For me personally, I think this is a good news because their chief tech person hasn't been performing, right? And then now with all departments reporting directly to CEO 𝗳𝗲𝗹𝗃 is the one that has also brought them growth, right? Brought the company growth. And I think by reporting directly to him, there's really greater accountability and greater responsibility. So I see this as a good thing. Yeah.
So it seems like this quarter. Okay, sorry, you're about to say something.
Yeah. To me, I think the real good news is actually that Intel is willing to admit their problem and go for outsourcing. Okay, and this actually level the playing game. For people that think that this is a problem, right? Then let's look at the NVIDIA and AMD. NVIDIA have been doing so well, and they are not doing their own chip. Qualcomm has been doing so well. Okay, most of the Android phone are using their chip, and they are not making their own chip, right? So I don't see a problem on that. And Intel has just leveled the playing field, and with enough volume and size, right, they can actually just take up the production and get TSMC to prioritize the production over AMD if they have enough volume.
Okay, hey, hey, don't buy put on AMD. What we are talking about is Intel. Let's focus one by one. Okay, so we're going quite a number all over the place, correct? So yes. So I think overall really have great insight today. Thank you so much for sharing your banana ideas. And it is really not banana. I was blown away. Okay, and just now I think I saw someone mention, right. What about let's say ETF? I did find one ETF that you possibly can look at. But let me just show you. Is this particular ETF called SMH? They have Taiwan Semiconductor, NVIDIA, Intel, almost everything.
So you buy all the semiconductor in one.
Yeah, correct.
What's the PE now?
SMH.
Very expensive.
Okay, now do a very quick promotion on this Saturday. When I say promotion, actually there's nothing to sell, but basically this Saturday we do have a ETF workshop by Chloe. So she actually talks about ETF. How many of you want to learn more about ETF? ETF, right, allows us to buy into the whole entire sector without needing to worry about what if this company win the other company, because if you buy the whole sector makes money, they make money together. If you're interested in ETF, type ETF, and what you can do is go to Next Level All-Star Group. So you can type Next Level All-Star. Let me just put in the whole entire link again, and then come to this particular post, and that's where you can sign up for the ETF workshop. It's entirely complimentary, but we're going to dive deep in. We're going to actually talk about how to select ETF, how to use screeners, how to actually look at the criteria and also evaluate ETF. Okay, so this is something that we hope that all of you guys actually do enjoy this a lot. I mean, personally, I like investing in ETF. Hey, Banana Investor, do you invest in ETF?
No. Yeah, this one I'm very curious.
No, actually no. The reason being is I will spend time to learn individual stock, but if I will recommend ETF for busy people that do not have time to study individual stock. It will be very good.
That's right. Okay, yeah, correct. So if you okay, personally for me, I do go into ETF if let's say I'm interested in a particular sector, but at the same time I'm not too sure about it. Example, China. I'm very positive about this particular country. It's just that you ask me to pick individual stocks, a little bit more difficult for me. So example, in the area of semiconductor, definitely I believe in the future of it, there will be huge demand, but which one will be better, right? I cannot keep coming to Bananavestor and ask him for the answers, right? Or I can follow his page. But the thing is, I can actually buy the whole entire sector. Felicia, do you
can actually come and ask me?
Yeah. You're going to ask him, huh?
No, I think this session was really, really great. Bananavestor, good job.
Right.
You were asking about what ETF is it? Sorry, you're lagging.
One thing we forgot to ask all the audience to do, right? Please help us click share. And also when you go to the Endless ETF page, correct? Just go to here, go to this page, right? Help us do us a favor. Click on share. Hey, there's only 9 shares. Hey, help us. There's 500 of you guys. Click on this. We have at least another 500 shares so that more people can learn. Our main entire mission is to help more people level up in terms of your investing, go to the next level so they don't have to worry too much about going into the wrong investment, losing money and things like that. Cool? Yes, Bananavestor, we should bring the highlight back to you, and please give us your final words of wisdom. We will bring some banana to your house and put in front of you. And no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so if I bring you the tributes, okay.
Okay. Just remember to do your own due diligence. Okay. Don't look at don't follow the news. Don't follow the crowd. Yeah, have to do your homework before you invest. And invest safe. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So one more minute before the market open. Please invest safely. And Felicia, any last words of advice before we end tonight?
Well, what kind of advice? I think just be safe lah. I think, you know, we are saying that I mean, definitely this is earnings season, right? There is a lot of opportunities. Why? Because even if you're beating earnings, the stock price is going down, right? So
right.
There are opportunities, but just really be wise. Yeah, be wise.
Focus on the company. Yes.
Focus on the company. Yeah. Even personally for myself, like Bananavestor, I don't invest in ETF. You know, I think if you're serious about investing, then really go and invest in your learning, invest in yourself by upping your knowledge, right? Tuning in to sessions like that. Yeah. So that you can be like Bananavestor who picks his bananas and not buy a full, you know, like, yeah. Okay, so that's all.
And not step on banana skin.
No. They put anything. Yeah, don't step on banana skin. Hey, but thanks a lot for this session. Hope you guys have enjoyed yourself, and we'll see you guys soon again. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.